श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षण इत्युगागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूतमनर्कशीलं गोपाल देशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुखतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम. So it's our great fortune to go through the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We have covered so far the 9 chapters. Last week we had a summary high level Arthanubhavam of the 10th chapter, Vibhooti Yoga. So Vibhooti Yogam is nothing but the manifestation of his divine glories. Vibhooti here, it is not, Vibhooti means the wealth, the possessions and the property, the Vodaimai in Tamil. So Vibhooti Yoga, Perumal's possessions, the Sri Vaikuntham, his eternal abode, the Prapancham, the universe, are all, every one of us is his wealth, his property, his belonging. So this Vibhooti Yoga, it talks about divine glories of the Lord. And generally people know that Bhagavan is great, Shaktan, Sarva Shaktan, Sarvajna, Sarveshwaran, but they do not know in detail how God is great. So here Krishna explains to Arjuna, Bhagavan informs Arjuna as to how he has innumerable, infinite, auspicious qualities, how everything is subservient to him, how a knowledge of these, by getting to know of this, even a minutest level, how it would help the bhakta to have, to sprout in the minds of those listening to this chapter. People will get an iota of bhakti, a fraction of bhakti sprouting in their minds, even if they do not already have it, like me. But if they are already devoted to some extent, even little bit, their loving devotion will increase manifold, will intensify and grow. That's what Swami, Bhagavan himself says this. So we saw that Krishna mentions his qualities. So let's recite some of the stotrams and the arthams of this 10th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuya Yeva Mahabaho Shrunu Me Paramam Vachaha Yatteham Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hita Kamyaya. He says, Arjuna, the one who has got strong shoulders, Mahabaho, desiring your welfare, your well-being, I will now further elaborate my glories because you are so delighted for having heard of my greatness. So listen, he says, Shrunu me paramam vacha, listen. And he says, Priyamanaya, being pleased with my hearing my greatness, listen very carefully, very attentively. In the last chapter, Krishna instructed on topics which can be learnt only with difficulty, because Arjuna did not become jealous of Krishna for being so great. When our friend, when our cousin, when our close one becomes big, when we realize that he is great, we get envious, jealous. Arjuna did not become. He looked at him with overwhelming ascharya. So he was so enthused to hear more about Krishna. That's why Krishna opens up. He says, Name vidusura ganaha prabhavam na maharishayah ahamadirhi devanam maharishinam cha sarvashaha. Even the devatas, the devaloka celestial bodies, even the great rishis, they do not know fully my glory, my majesty, my power, my vibhavam. Only I am the prime source of the nature, the knowledge, the power, etc. of those devatas, of those rishis. Says Bhagavan, Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam na maharishayaka. Suraganaha, the host of devatas, suras, maharishayaka, the great sages, my prabhava, my majesty, they do not know. And in all respects, I am the prime cause for their knowledge, for their nature, for their power, everything. So even the devatas, the rishis are capable of comprehending things beyond the scope of sense organ. They can comprehend because they are tapasvi, they are devatas. But they have much greater knowledge than us. But in spite of that, they cannot know the reality of Bhagavan's glories. Not even minutest extent. As the glories are actually are. And what to speak of us? Absolutely we would not know. Unless He opens up. So the manner in which He is to be known and the fruit of such knowledge is given in the next verse. Yoma majamanadimcha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammuda samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. Martyeshu, among men, the undeluded person, not confused person, who knows me as existing without being born at any time as the Lord of the Lords of the worlds, of the universe, Lord of the universe. He is removed, purged, cured, destroyed of all papams, impeding his proceeding on the right path, says Bhagavan. Because he says, if we understand Bhagavan, whom even the devatas are not able to understand, they are not able to comprehend in the manner described in this sloka. They are not able to, because Krishna went and saved Devendra from Narakasura. Krishna and Satyabhama went. And after destroying Narakasura, Satyabhama looked at the Parijata tree in the Devaloka. She wanted some flowers. She wanted the tree in her palace. So she asked, can we take that? So Krishna said, I am the one who helped Devendra. Of course we can take. He would not mind. So they took. And Devendra and Devas came to fight with Krishna. How dare you can take a tree? After all, Krishna went and saved Devendra from Narakasura's issues, problem, torture. So they are deluded. If we understand Bhagavan, even whom even the devatas do not get to know, even others are not able to comprehend, in the manner described in this sloka, that He is unborn. He is not born like us. When we are born because of our karma vasana, because of our karmic disease, because of the vasanas from time immemorial we have been accruing papams and punyams. So that is the reason for our birth. He is Ajam, the unborn. The entities, the non-sentient entity, our body undergoes modifications. And our Atma associated with the body take another body because of the karma. Baddha Jivatmas like us, the Jivatmas, are bound in samsara They are subject to birth again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayana. Iha samsare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murare. Adi Shankara says in Bhajagovindam. The birth of the Jivatma is its involvement with the matter, with the achetana, with the non-sentient, with the panchabhutams, taking this body. So it gets embodied because of the karma. The Jivatma as such may be pure, but it is associated with the karma which has been accrued for very many births, millions of births, because of which we take body after body. But the Lord, when He takes avataram as Rama, Krishna, Varaha, Vamana, Narasimha, He is never bound by. He chooses parents, He chooses place, He chooses what, when, how, why, all that. Lord, birth is not subject to birth of our kind. Hence, He is unborn. And that, if we come to know, our papams will get removed. Krishna says. And then, He says, Buddhiryana sammoha Kshama satyam damashamaha Sukham dukkam bhavo bhavo Bhayam cha bhayameva cha. Wonderful sloka. He says, Ahimsa samata tushti tapodanam yasho yashaha Bhavanti bhava bhutanam mattayeva pratak vidaha. He says here, the buddhi, the jnanam, the non-delusion, not being confused, not being misled, the patience, the porumai, the satyam, the truthfulness, the control over the sense organs, over the eye, over the ear, over the body, over the other organ, the mouth, the tongue, the control of mind, the pleasure, the sukham, dukkam, the pleasure, sorrow, happiness at agreeable experiences, excessive depression due to disagreeable experiences, the bhayam, the abhayam, the fearlessness, the fear, the equanimity, the cheerfulness, the tapas, the austerity, the dhanam, the charity, everything. These are all the diverse dispositions of us, of ours, of the beings, emanate from me, Krishna says. What a beautiful manner in which He exposes. He says, Buddhi, Jnanam, non-delusion, patience, truthfulness, control over sense organs, control of mind, pleasure, pain, sorrow, happiness, depression, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, cheerfulness, tapas, austerity, charity, dhanam, the famous, the being fame, being popular and being infamous. All these diverse dispositions of beings emanate from me, he says. Why me? Because it is His sankalpam, intelligence, the power of mind to determine. All these things emanate from Him because of His sankalpam. Why He takes sankalpam that this person has to be an ayogyan, this person has to be intelligent, this person will go on dharmic way, this person will be an evil doer, he will do this, he is bound to get destroyed in this. Why? Why he gets happy, the other one gets depressed? Because of the karma vasana. He is not partial. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. In the last chapter he said, I am equal to everyone. Based on what you sow, you reap. What you sow, so you reap. He is not at all partial. So this chapter deals with modes of mental action. Satyam, yashaha, ayashaha, tapas, dhanam. These are all the working of the mind which facilitates truthfulness. The conduct of the jiva, the jivatma, the doer, the activities of the organs, the jitendriya, the indriyams, are all under the control of the Lord. Lord's will, Lord's sankalpam. But why mental effort alone is specified as being under His control separately? Because it is instructed that even the mental disposition will lead to bhakti. If you focus your mind towards Him, the love becomes bhakti. Even that is because Perumal Sankalpam. Even that thought, and that's why Nammalvar says, Aduvum avanadu innarule. Even that is because of His grace, immense karunya. And that is why it is all subordinate to His Sankalpa. That's why Parama Vaidikas, Acharyas, scholars, they used to say, if something does not happen the way they expect in life, some calamity happens, some unfortunate thing happens, they would say, Prarabdha Karma, Bhagavad Sankalpa. It's Bhagavad Sankalpa. They would accept with full cognizance of Bhagavan's will. And if something good happens, they won't say, I have done it, I have accomplished. They would say, Bhagavad Anugraham, Acharyan Anugraham. In the next verse, Bhagavan declares that the rishis, who are the cause of the creation of the living being, he talks about the Maharishis, even the originators of the creation, sustenance, that is these great seers, the Manus, they do not act independently. They carry out their respective functions in accordance with my will. He says, and Maharshayaha sapta purve. Then he says, Yetam vibhootim yogam cha mamayo vetti tattvataha sovikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. He says, Bhagavan said, the great souled person, the great Atmas like the Rishis, they realize, they know, they understand that I am only the creator of all the entities, and that everything in the world moves on because of me, because of my sankalpam, my will. Knowing this, they adore me, they love me, who is full of me, who is full of auspicious, limitless, unbounded Kalyana Gunams, qualities. With great love they adore me. Because once we know that the person is great and we are close to the person, we start loving, falling in love with him, because he is such a shaulabhyan. He is so easily accessible to me. He is ready to move with me. And out of compassion he is saying, you are my child, you are my friend, you are my everything. Krishna says, we will come to know, we will talk about it later. Udhara sarvayevete, they are vallal, they are benefactor. He is such a parama karuniko Bhagavan, and he is sarveshwara, sarvajna, sarvashaktan. Obviously we would fall in love when we get to know the glories of him, and we get to know that he is so easily accessible, ready to be sought after by us. We fall in love. And that's what he says, the great Jivatmas, Rishis, seers, realize that I am the creator of all entities, everything in the world moves with me. And that's why in the next slokam, he talks about Machchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantah Parasparam Katayantyascha Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. Beautiful sloka. The next verse, this verse, describes the activities those seers, bhaktas, ardent devotees of the Lord undertake with great love, preeti, khadar. They love him. Ramanuja says, preeti purvaka jnanam is bhakti. Preeti purvaka. It has to be with love. And that's how you should do the kaikarya. With love, not as a ritual. You do Sandhya Vandanam, you should assume that he is standing in front of you and lovingly offer. You do Tiruvaradhanam, you do puja, you prostrate. You should think of him smiling, accepting our namaskaram, and with open arms. And then the love will sprout. He says, Machchitta, their minds fixed on me, madgata pranaha, having me for sustaining their lives, parasparam, with each other, they talk, mam bodayantaha, speaking about my auspicious qualities, which they have experienced, which they have read, which they have listened, which they have talked about, katayantaha, narrating clearly the stories, the leelas regarding me, which are well known in the Puranas, in the Itihasas, and tushyanticha, they are delighted, tushyanti, they are happy. The great Jivatmas, the Bhaktas, the scholars, the Vaidikas, the devotees, they have their minds fixed on me at all times, being unable to sustain themselves even for a moment without thinking of me. And they narrate to others their experiences relating to my Kalyana Gunams, auspicious qualities. What are the auspicious qualities? Jnanam, Balam, Aishwaryam, Viryam, Shakti, Tejas. These are the God, Lord quality, divine quality, powerful qualities, so that we have no doubt that He will take care of. But if somebody is great, so what? But will he take care of me? I am so lowly, lowliest of the lowliest. Will He take care of me? Of course, because He is a Vatsalyan, Ashrita Vatsalan. He will, because He has got Karunyam, Shaushilyam, Shaulabhyam, Madhuryam, Arjavam, Samyam, Karunyam, Madhuryam, Gambiryam. Ramanuja enlists so many qualities of His, so that we would feel rest assured that He will take care of us. The narrator is delighted with the thought that narration is the fruit in itself. Talking about Him itself is the fruit, is the palan. Nothing else they want. Just rushyanticha, ramanticha, katayanti. Even if there is nobody, they will enjoy themselves. So beautifully he mentions here. Then he says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. 10th sloka. The Lord declares, desiring to be ceaselessly united with me. They don't want to be away from me. They want to have ceaselessly united with me, with no gap. And those who adore me, devoted to me with love, to them I grant them the mature devotion, the love transformed into devotion, which is the means, which is the way to attain me, to reach me, the upaya, the vadi. I would grant them the concrete laid out road to attain me, if they have love. That's why we see so many stories about wonderful devotees, full of love, crying, longing to see Him, and He appears. The next verse is stated, the Lord Himself destroys the challenges, the obstacles, the issues to the generation of this buddhi yoga, of this devotion. He says, Tesham yevanukam partam agamajnana jamtamaha nashayam yatma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Just to shower my grace on those devotees, I establish myself as the object of the thoughts in them. Everything is His will, right? His sankalpa. So He ensures that He would become the object of thoughts in those devotees. And He would manifest His auspicious qualities in them, lighting the lamp of clear knowledge in them. And He destroys their attachment to the other vishayams, other worldly matters. And that attachment to me is born because of my sankalpam, of their love for me. I have willed to give them that attachment to me. And their attachment to the world karma, the obstruction to this bhakti yoga, is removed. So Bhagavan says here that I would ensure that I would sprout in them the bhakti, the knowledge about me, the qualities about me. Then Arjuna, now having listened to the narration of Bhagavan's auspicious qualities and his lordship, Arjuna wants to know. He is thirst, he is enthused with zeal, enthusiasm. He says, "Pray, tell me more." He says, Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adi devamajam vibhum agustva vrishaya sarve devarshi naratastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishime. So he mentions Vedas speak of you as Param Brahma, as the Supreme Person, Param Dhama, Supreme Light, Param Pavitram, Supreme Sanctifier, the great sages, rishis, who know the realities as you actually are, describe you as the eternal divine Lord, the resident of the highest abode, the Vaikuntham, the creator, the cause of the whole universe, having the creation, the sustenance, and you are never born on account of karma. You are eternally omnipresent. And the rishis come to know of it. They have proclaimed this. You have not said all these things out of just to exaggerate or blowing your trumpet. You have not said. The rishis have said, Vyasa, Shuka, Valmiki, Ashita, Devala, they all have mentioned. You yourself have proclaimed your glories to me now, clearly. So tell me more. I would like to know more. And in this verse, Arjuna stated that divinities are not competent to describe the Lord's glory. Which means Bhagavan only can speak of his glory. And please tell me. And of course, then Krishna, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, 19th slokam, he says, Hantate katayishyami divyahyatma vibhootayah pradhan yata guru shreshta nastyanto vistarasya me. He mentions so beautifully Hantate. He says, O Arjuna, the Kuru Shrestha, the best among the Kuru dynasty, I am very pleased with your query, because greatly pleased with Arjuna's query, wanting to know more. The Lord says in this verse, it is impossible to either narrate all my glories or even for you to listen to all my glories. It's impossible. Hence, I will tell you a representative, the best among my glory. Only the few. The Varupana Shotrikku Varushoru Padam. They say, in order to test whether the Arishi sadam has been cooked well, we take only one shori, one portion, and to check if it is cooked well. So here he says, I will give you a representation of my glory. Hantate katayishyami. So I am pleased with your query. This world is not interested in listening to my glory. They are not interested. They are running amok behind the worldly pursuit, the alpam, the lowliest of the lowliest pursuits, running amok behind the sensual pleasures. But you alone are not satisfied. Even after I have said so many things, you are not satisfied. You want to learn more. You thirst for more. This is surprising indeed, that being no limit to my auspicious qualities, auspicious manifestations, I cannot narrate all of them, but I will relate only few which is preeminent among them. And then he says, Ahama Atma Gudha Kesha Sarvabhuta Shayastitaha Ahama Adishcha Madhyam Cha Bhutana Manta Yevacha. Hey Arjuna, I reside in the heart of all beings. He says, Sarva Bhuta Ashayastitaha, seated in the hearts of all being, seated in the minds, the heart of all being. I am there, I reside. Therefore, I am the indwelling self, Antaratma. And I am the material cause. I am the creator, sustainer and destroyer of all being. All beings are his body. So, when I say I am Madhavakkannan, when I say I am short, I am brown color, I have grey hair, when I say I, it means I actually am the Atma. The body is not me. I am the Atma. Aham Atma. Na dehosmi. Not that deham. So, when that is the case, how can I say I am short, I have grey hair, or I am lame, I am unable to see? The Atma is different. I can say my eyes cannot see. Also I can say my body is of short stature. But we always say I am. Just like when I ask somebody to give, when I visit somebody's home and I say please give me water, they bring water. They bring in a tumbler, a stainless steel glass, or in a jug. I ask them to give only water, but what they bring is a jug. I would say, why are you bringing a jug? I want water. They will say the water is inside. And this is water. Even though it is only jug which I can see, that is water. Because inside that container is the water. Similarly, when I say I am Madhavakkannan, even though the Atma is I, the body is referred to as Madhavakkannan. The body is referred to as short stature, grey haired. Similarly here, everything, all, he is there everywhere. He is seated in the hearts of everything. So that is why we say Sabrahma, Sasiva, Sendra, Sokchara, Paramaswarat. He is Brahma, he is Shiva, he is Indra, he is Swarat, he is Agni, he is Earth. So they say he is there, everything. Yasya Prithvi Shariram Antarbahit Chatat Sarva Vyapya Narayana Stitaha. The Narayana is there inside and outside of everything and everyone. That's why we say the whole world, Sarvam Kalvitam Brahma. The Upanishad says everything is Brahman. When everything is Brahman, that does not mean that the Lord has transformed into this everything. It means he is the Antaratma in everything, in the non-sentient as well as the sentient, in the Jivatma as well as in the body, which we have been enjoying every week almost this. So here all beings are his body. He dwells in their hearts. Only Bhagavan sustains all these beings. He only is the controller. He is the principal. He is the director. When an object is continuously supported by a sentient being, controlled by it, used by the being for one purpose, just like the body is supported by us, controlled by us, used by us means by our Atma. The object is the body and the Atma is the Atma. So Sharira Atma Bhava. Our body is the Sharira, our Atma is the Atma. Similarly, he is there as the Atma in everything and everyone. So all of us, the Atma as well as the matter, become his Sharira. We cannot say where is the hand, where is the mouth, all that. Shariram means the one which is supported by Atma, one which is controlled by Atma, one who is the master of that, one who is reporting to the master or the Atma. So, just like our body and our Atma, the matter and the Jivatmas relate to the Lord. So that's why Sharira Atma Bhava. And that is why here he mentions that I am there, indweller, inside everything and everyone, in that sloka. And then he says, the verses that follow from 21, the verses that follow describe the more prominent of Bhagavan's divine manifestation, which he says, among Adityas, the 12 sons of Aditi. I am the 12th Aditya called Vishnu. Aditya namaham Vishnuhu Jyotisham Raviram Shuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranamaham Shashi. So he is going to say 78 representation of his glory. 78, I repeat, 78 he is going to say. From 21 up to some 20 slokas he is going to list down, and from 21 we will list down the 78 amshams where he says, I am Rudra, I am the Skanda, I am the Agni, Vedanam Samavedosmi, I am the Samavedam of the 4 Vedas. All that we will enjoy next week. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namah.